Hello everyone, welcome back to Zaki number 2. On this video we're going to be looking at how a CSGO outcast became Valorant's biggest star. We're going to be looking at Wardell in this video. The Score Esports has already made a video about him, and I want to see exactly his entire history, his entire past in a nicely formatted video. I would look at this anyway, so I thought I'd give you my thoughts on it as I watch it. Let's jump into it.
Wardell was one of CSGO's most overlooked players. Chance, you seen the player come out,
I was basically like blackballed from the CS Pro teams. Basically, nobody would want to pick me up.
Exiled from CSGO, Wardell kept grinding until he finally found stardom in a new game.
One enemy remaining.
What?
Using those smokes, just trying to just tailwind. Oh my god! I'm the fucking best in the game! I'm the best in the business! Are you fucking kidding me?
How'd they get this monetized? No, I want to, before, it's good that we had the introduction. I want to say now that I do know who Wardell is and stuff in terms of Valorant at least, but I knew that Wardell had definitely, although I don't know his history, I knew he had a history on the basis, A, how good he is at the game, but B, the way his stream is, the way that he carries himself online. This guy's been in the business for a while now, and it's clear that TSM and Valorant and just this timing, it's his time to shine, and he is known at this point in Valorant for being the op king. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting seeing his history in a nicely formatted video.
Wardell is one of the biggest names in Valorant. The man is one of the game's greatest players. He's the star player on arguably NA's best Valorant team, and he's just waiting for his chance to take on the world. But before Wardell was soaking up the limelight in Valorant, he was struggling to find a team in CSGO.
That's crazy.
Wardell started competing in CSGO in 2014 while he was still in high school, but he didn't really get noticed until 2016 when he joined B's Money Crew.
They're gonna go quickly again, slowing it down a little bit, but there's Wardell. Somebody stop this guy, he's just gonna peek another one, give him three, through the fire, why not?
Okay, so he was an all-pro on CS2, okay. Didn't know he was an all-pro on CS, that makes a lot of sense.
In his pro career, when the BMC lineup got picked up by Ghost Gaming. And while on that team, Wardell made a name for himself as an up-and-coming star in the world of NACS.
Yeah, Ghost has looked really impressive in recent months, especially in like ESL Pro League. I think they finished second at the end of the regular season, which at the beginning of the season, I don't think anyone...
I knew he was in Ghost Gaming only because, obviously, well, maybe it's not obvious, but I make the thumbnails on Valorant Hub, and, you know, when I'm trying to, like, when I'm reporting on something that Wardell's done or doing or something like that, you know, I mask out his images, you know, that are Google images about him and stuff. And I think because of the fact, you know, with everything going on in the world right now, he doesn't really have any pictures with his TSM jersey. So, you know, his very most popular images are him at LANs with the Ghost jersey on. So
one would have predicted. Something about this team is just clicking, and I think one of the biggest pieces has been Wardell. His consistency has finally hit its peak.
Wardell played alongside some of the most famous names in North American CSGO. Guys like Freakazoid, Kusta, and most importantly,
Steel, okay. Steel's just left Valorant. Sorry, he's just left CS for Valorant, so that's interesting.
Steel, how has he stayed alive for so long? He might be able to turn this back around for the CTs. He needs to reload eventually. Drop a little bit of extra utility just to keep the T's at bay and away. Vice has to rely on the sidearm. Steel, how's he done this? Steel just comes out from that position and just mops the floor clean.
See, Steel participated in the infamous 2015
I love this editing, bro.
Which meant that he was banned from all Valve tournaments. So while he was on the team, Wardell and Ghost couldn't actually qualify for the majors. But even with Steel's ban, Ghost managed to remain somewhat competitive in CSGO. That is, until 2019, when Ghost stepped away from CSGO and disbanded their roster. As Ghost's most promising player, Wardell was expected to join another NA team like Cloud9. But no team picked Wardell up, and for months, he sat in limbo, unsigned. See, Wardell's reputation in the NACS community wasn't that great.
Oh, about Wardell? Oh, just that he had found out that, or he decided he was gonna play for Ghost after practicing with Rogue for like 2 weeks, and then, or a week or something, and then he found out last night, but he didn't say anything until 2 hours before the match today to one person.
And his sour relationship with some of his fellow NACSGO pros came to bite him in the ass here.
I was basically like blackballed from the CS Pro teams. Basically, nobody would want to pick me up because they'd ask like my teammates how like they feel about me, and then like they completely like lie about who I am as a like teammate, as a person, or whatever. That was definitely a prime factor because nobody would want to pick me up. And also like not being picked up by an org is definitely also a factor because like due to like COVID and all that, ain't nobody trying to pick up a team.
So as long as no org was interested in picking him up, Wardell decided to make his own team, Orgless.
Oh, really?
Ghost gaming player Sabrosa as well.
No way.
FNS. And despite having no org or
Okay,
sponsors
let me clear why I go with that reaction. I'm really new to this whole scene. Never was on CS. Never really looked at it that much. But this is stuff that's clicking for me in Valorant because Orgless was a it was a team in Valorant. So it's interesting to see Wardell formed that or something. I didn't know that. Okay.
Fans,
That's
they
cool.
managed to qualify for the $1 million flash.
Orgless.
There's a module
That's
there,
interesting.
you can find an angle for Dark Spot, but there's nobody in Dark Spot. There's nobody there. Doesn't help. Yay now, of course, to maybe get a last kill onto Steel. And there it is. A team with no org make it to Flashpoint 1 through the Pinnacle Open Finals.
That's so interesting.
Through nothing.
And that's FNS right there too. And I believe FNS right now is with Envious, if I'm correct,
Wardell
in
made it back
Valorant.
to competitive CS, taking on the same teams that people thought he was supposed to join months ago.
It's a pretty big moment. If Wardell goes down to MTM, there's problems, but looks like he'll get the first kill.
Wardell doing AWPing things.
He's gonna nail it.
But Flashpoint came and went, and Wardell didn't get picked up by any organization. And without the backing of a major team, his career prospects in CSGO were dwindling. But in the midst of all this hardship, Wardell got a new opportunity.
미안해서 어쩌나?
Valorant, baby. Valorant.
So like I knew like playing this game in beta and then getting really good at before anybody else before this game blows up would have been the best opportunity for me than just rather stay in CS and just like wait for something magical to happen.
And
That's really interesting because if Valorant wasn't a big thing, this would have been potentially quite bad for Wardell. But in fairness, betting on Riot is not exactly a stupid thing to do. So
Wardell was ready.
that's cool. I mean, heck, I got Valorant Hub, you know.
Oh shit!
I figured Valorant was probably going to be pretty good, pretty big and pretty good. So Wardell clearly saw the same thing as I did.
Just a few weeks into the beta, Wardell found his new team. Mousespaz was filled with former competitive CSGO players, and they were ready to take tournaments by storm.
I think it's because we all had CSGO experience. Like this game requires a lot of CSGO experience, and then if you don't have CSGO experience, you're already behind everybody else. We all played pro before, so it's like super easy to mesh and like create strats and like bounce off each other.
And it's the end of the line for Nerf in this round. It is him against the world, but the world will crush him down. Boggs 13-9.
Bro, Valorant looks so different now. That's crazy. I mean, this was the beta, obviously, but
Valorant champions.
And Mousespaz's success.
That's
on the rise of
crazy,
one of
bro.
North America's biggest esports teams.
you forget these things. I was on Valorant from the beta too. From day one of the beta, I was posting about it, but yeah.
I was really happy. I was like, wow, I've like finally
Looks so
made
different.
my goal for all these years, yo. Been doing it for 6 years, wanted to join a team like way before that. It's definitely amazing, yo, honestly.
After years of grinding his ass off playing Tier 2 CS, Wardell was finally on a major organization, and he was ready to go on a rampage.
And he has been. He has been. GG's to him, like. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Okay.
One more?
One enemy remaining.
Okay.
Diamonds! Ah!
Bro, all the people who he's taking it like at the top right hand corner here, bro. That's just Sentinels, FaZe, Sentinels. Does he with anyone? NRG, I know from like content creation, I think. FaZe. That's crazy.
Diamonds!
He's close. He's running
Love
in
me.
front of the smoke.
One enemy remaining.
Clip that shit, baby!
Wardell quickly gained praise for his ability to completely take over rounds, especially when he got his hands on the AWP.
Yeah, I was gonna say, show some AWP gameplay, bro. Like, this jet stuff is cool, but the AWP, I think the AWP stuff is more impressive in terms of the difficulty of using it, potentially. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong there. But personally, I feel like the ult's easier to use than the AWP, you know? Jet's ult, I mean.
Enemy remaining.
Yeah, this dude's a crazy AWP player.
Shit! Fuck out of here! I fucking do this. Give me the fucking ace. Give me the fucking ace.
Oh my god, bro.
Give me that fucking ace.
How has this not been censored?
But despite all their success, Wardell and
Like,
TSM
yo.
couldn't quite say they were the best team in NA. See, before they could call themselves that, they had one more opponent to beat. T1.
Was that Sentinels? Oh, T1. Okay, yeah. Sentinels has been more of a challenger, I think, but I see what it's talking about.
The Doodle clutches up and wins the game, and you breathe that sigh of relief, my friend. GG 13-10. What a final.
I mean, this was supposed to like a week ago, maybe. That might be why, but T1 hasn't had the best time recently.
Wow, what a game.
What a battle.
I was like super sad for a couple of days because I like blamed myself the entire time because there was a lot of rounds where I could have won it for us.
T1's Valorant roster was made up of former competitive CSGO players, including 3 of the 5 members of the legendary iBuyPower roster, Brax, Skadoodle, and AZK. And after T1 beat TSM in the Twitch Rivals Valorant tournament, TSM was out for revenge. And TSM got their chance for vengeance just a few weeks later at the T1 Valorant Invitational. The tournament was part of Riot's Ignition series, a set of tournaments meant to kickstart Valorant's esports scene.
As part of the Ignition series, the T1 Invitational offered the biggest prize pool out there for Valorant, $50,000, which meant that every major team would be in attendance. TSM would be ready to play.
Smoke is played right in front.
Can't really remember how TSM performed in this one. It was a little while ago, for me at least. There's been so many tournaments since then, so...
So much smoke going on there, but Wardell still gets a kill through the plethora of smokes, and then it is just Drone with 3 to wrap up that round. Wardell's gonna get the intel, finds one, maybe a second.
Nice.
Goodbye. And that is going to be the way you close that bad boy out.
This is the option, and at this point, you're just going to try to look for some exits because you're fully blinded. Aftershock Bolt line coming through as well. He picks up the Phantom in the first headshot onto AZK. Actually, he's going to commit into this. Putting his smoke in the front of the site. There you still have a dark cloud moving in, a dark cover inside the main site.
Oh, nice.
And he does connect finally with the Ghost. Tapping on the spike. He does get the kill with the Brax with that.
So this was when T1 was playing really well. That's not to say that T1's a bad team, I'm just saying this. T1's had not such a great performance recently.
T1
So.
met in the grand finals. If TSM won this, they could truly call themselves the best team in NA.
So basically there was like a lot of hype around their name and all that stuff. People would like come into my chat while I'm streaming and be like, yo, TM's gonna beat you, all that stuff. And it's like, you don't have a
Wait, who? T1?
And Wardell still lingering outside.
Bro, the rivalry, as far as I've been concerned, is to do with TSM and Sentinels, but okay. Maybe there has been rivalry between T1 too, but that was earlier.
North American Ignition Series champions.
TSM is the best Valorant team on the planet. I'm just gonna crown them right now. They come in.
When we played them and we destroyed them, it was the best feeling ever. Like I never felt so like accomplished in my life. Like I proved everybody wrong and I proved to myself that we could be the best in the world.
Right now, TSM are the kings of NA Valorant. In mid-August, they won FaZe Clan's $50,000 invitational, and the MVP of that tournament was none other than the op god himself, Wardell.
Okay, so this... I understand why they're saying this, because I have a thing with how much effort's been put into this video. This isn't just a quick one-night edit. Like, this has been going on for a while. And they've been doing this, I would imagine, for a little while now. So, especially it being out August 27, which was about a week ago, quite a few tournaments have happened since the FaZe Clan Valorant Invitational, as they were talking about the Ignition series. And TSM haven't had the most... they've had a really good time. They've had a really good time, but Sentinel's won, I believe. So, yeah, it's a bit tiny bit outdated, but barely. Kind of outdated, though.
Here, they can heal, they will be fine, but it's a 2v3. Now it's going to be a 1v1. It's just up to Sick. He has been spectacular, but it's not going to matter because Wardell gets the final shot, and TSM are your FaZe Valorant Invitational Champions.
Wardell has made it. He was overlooked for years, but instead of giving in, he persevered. He kept on grinding until his chance for glory.
No, this is awesome. Like, legit GG's to Wardell.
And be like, wow,
legit.
This is actually insane. I gotta like keep on going. That makes me really
because
happy.
I would have never have thought, based on Valorant, that he was underrated in CS. Never would have expected it.
Like, actually fulfill.
Because the dude's very well spoken and somewhat outspoken from what I've seen in his streams. I haven't seen a lot of his streams, but from what I have seen, is a bit loud. And he's a crazy op player, and he's been doing crazy good in Valorant. So I never expected him to be the underdog in CS. But that also makes sense, you know.
Playing pro is definitely something I wanted to do.
Okay, I think that's
Eyes
it.
really fucking hurt. It is unbelievable. You know when they tell you to not look directly into lights? It's like you get a little bit of it and then your eyes are kind of like dazzled for a bit, but you stare at this thing for like 30 minutes.
Okay, so that's basically it. Cool. Well, that was a really interesting background because I haven't really looked enough into the background of CS players, especially the ones that have transitioned over to Valorant. And of course, that's a very cool and big part of Valorant's history, I suppose, in terms of the players that have transitioned and stuff. But it's been really interesting to see where Wardell has come from. The fact that he wasn't finding CS that many opportunities in CS later on, so that was really interesting. But I'm really glad for him and happy for him that he's managed to make his way in. I am going to go out on a limb and say that the next what do we have here? Scudo is back, how Valorant brought us CSGO, so that's going to be one spotlight. And then I'm betting, or not betting, but very much expecting that the next spotlight that we see is going to be Sinatra. That's my personal opinion. And I'm probably going to make a video about Sinatra myself on Valorant Hub, so stay tuned for that. But with that being said, this is my reaction to Wardell. I hope you enjoyed it. If you learned anything new, let me know. But with that being said, I've totally butchered this outro, bro. Basics are, if you enjoyed this video, hit a like. If you want to see everything else I post on this channel, hit that subscribe button, keep notifications on. But with that being said, have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.